What's up, my friends? It's C-Threep here with 4 simple tips on how to record great sounding vocals. Now, this is already assuming that you have a microphone, and that is going to make a big difference on the type of microphone you have. If you've got a $10 microphone versus a $300 microphone, there's going to be some difference in quality there. But these tips are universal. It doesn't matter what microphone you have. This is how to get the most out of your vocal recordings. So let's jump right into it. Number 1 is you're going to want to record in a space that has a little bit of soundproofing. What I mean by that is try not to record in a room that has like no furniture, no carpet, nothing on the walls. It's just a kind of an empty, echoey room. If you do that, the microphone is going to pick up a lot of the sound bouncing around the room, and it's going to sound like a very amateur vocal recording. Try to record in a room with some carpet, with some furniture, hang some blankets on the walls. If possible, maybe record in a closet or just near where your clothes are hanging up, so that kind of absorbs some of the sound. Number 2 is you need to get a pop filter. That's this little thingy here. You can get them for 15 or 20 bucks. I've got a link in the description for this one. It's a really good pop filter. What this does is it stops the plosive sounds when you talk, like P's and B's and S's. This kind of, it kind of stops those sounds. Another way that your vocals are going to sound really amateur is if you have a lot of those sounds in your recordings. So this is a must-have. You're going to need a pop filter. You can also make some. Link in the description as well if you really care to make your own. I made a little tutorial on that. Okay, number 3, this is kind of an overlooked thing, or maybe something you don't really think about, but this makes a huge difference. In fact, this might make a bigger difference than pop filters or even the room that you're in, and that is where to put your face relative to the microphone. Do you get up super close as you're singing? Are you super far back? Even just now with me talking, I'm not singing obviously as I'm talking to you, but you can hear a difference in audio quality as I get really close and get further back. Now, if you're too close, that will pick up a little bit too much bass. It starts sounding a little unnatural. That's not really, for music and stuff. Likely you're not going to want your voice to have, so much bass in it, because that's what guitars and pianos and synthesizers and bass guitars, that's what those are for. So you also don't want to be too far back, because then it sounds really thin. It doesn't sound really natural. It doesn't sound like I'm present with you, and it picks up the sound of the room a lot more. Be about 6 to 12 inches away from the microphone itself. That's kind of the sweet spot for not getting too much bass and not sounding too thin and junky. Again, these are all just basics, right? But this is really going to make a huge difference in making your recording sound more professional and enjoyable to listen to as opposed to amateur sounding. And number 4 is to get the correct recording volume in your software. When people send me music to listen to check it out, I think the number 1 thing that I notice with vocals, if they don't sound very good, even if the singer sounds great, they're a great singer, is that it was recorded too loud. Maybe the singer was even in a good spot, but the microphone gain was turned up so loud that the volume was clipping. Pretty much every recording software has these little meters where you can see typically it's like a green line bouncing up and down as you talk into the microphone. You want that to be somewhere around -20 to -15 or so as you're singing. You get a little bit higher than that, then you start risking hitting 0, and then it clips the audio, it distorts the audio. It makes it sound like junk. If it's too quiet, -30, -40, then it might be really difficult to work with, because you're going to have to turn up the volume as you're mixing your song. You're going to have to turn up the volume a lot of the recorded track, and you're going to start noticing a little bit more background noise as you do that. So a sweet spot is somewhere around -20, around -15 for the actual input recording volume. After you've recorded it, you can do whatever you want. You can turn up the volume of the already recorded track. I'm not referring to that volume. Again, I'm just referring to the volume of the actual input recording volume as you record your vocals. So that's it. 4 simple tips on recording your vocals. It's really not any more complicated than that. Some of it seems like no-brainer stuff, but you do these 4 things that really sets you up for having a successful sounding vocal track. Hopefully that was helpful. If you're looking to learn a few more simple recording tips and tricks, that's what I do on my channel. I focus it on simplified explanations of recording and mixing. So go ahead and check out my channel, subscribe, watch another video, leave a comment. Happy to help you. And that's it.